Yes, so we'll be studying, or rather starting with the nervous system today. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the next topic for our third chapter, that is structure and functions of nervous system and endocrine system and their relationship with behavior and experience. So we already studied about the neuron, the fundamental unit of the nervous system. And now we are going to start learning about the nervous system as a whole. The whole system, what all organs are consisted in this particular system, what all other body parts are concerned in it, and which all nerves are involved, what other chemical substances are involved, which brain structures help us in doing different functions, and all that things will be dealt with in the general topic of nervous system. Then we'll also learn about the endocrine system, which is regarding the hormones that we talked about yesterday. Okay, so we'll begin with the nervous system. Starting with the nervous system, are you familiar with the names of any nervous system, any types or any divisions of the nervous system?
Peripheral nervous system.
Yes, then any other names that you're familiar with? Anybody? Elvina, your video is off. Anybody else? No. Okay. So we have the major division, that is the whole nervous system of a human body. It is mainly divided into two main sections, that is CNS and PNS. PNS is what Aishwarya told right now, that is peripheral nervous system. The other one, CNS, is the central nervous system. Okay. So which are the two divisions? The central nervous system as well as the peripheral nervous system. Can you see the picture here? Yes? Yes or no?
Ma'am.
Yes, okay. So, central nervous system, we can consider it as the central government of a country. Okay. It has the highest demand and it has the highest hold over the rest of the body parts of the government. And peripheral nervous system, as the name suggests, the peripheral or the periphery means something that's found on the edge or on the periphery. So peripheral nervous system, it has all the rest of the parts of the nervous system other than the brain and the spinal cord. The brain and the spinal cord would always form the central nervous system. There are only two organs involved in the central nervous system, in the central part, that is the brain as well as the spinal cord. Understood? Whenever you hear the word central nervous system, you have to answer that it consists of the brain as well as the spinal cord. Understood? And Sana, tell me what covers the brain? What is the outer covering of brain? Or what protects the brain?
The skull.
The skull. The you know the other name?
Cranium.
Cranium. Yes. The skull or the cranium protects the brain. And what about the spinal cord? Sorry? Not the rib cage, the backbone. The backbone part is the one that protects the spinal cord. So in the central nervous system, we have two main organs, that is the brain as well as the spinal cord, and both of them are covered with the skeletal part. That is, for the brain, it is the cranium or the skull. For the spinal cord, it is the backbone. Okay. So we'll keep the central nervous system aside because we have too much to learn in the central nervous system, which is coming after the peripheral nervous system. So first we'll be learning about the peripheral nervous system. Okay, we have different divisions in the peripheral nervous system. That is, it is divided into the somatic as well as the autonomic system. Then the somatic is divided into so many nerves, the cranial nerves as well as the spinal nerves. Then the other one, the autonomic nervous system, it is divided into the sympathetic as well as the parasympathetic nervous system. So we have a lot more divisions coming in the peripheral nervous system. So we learned that first, and then we'll come to the central nervous system. Okay. So let me ask you once more. Who would tell me? Amal, you tell me. What is the major division of the nervous system?
Ma'am, nerves are divided into two: central nervous system, peripheral nervous system.
Nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Very good. And the central nervous system consists of the two organs, that is
Ma'am,
the central one.
a brain.
Brain, yes, and
Spinal cord.
spinal cord. And the brain is covered by what, Ashish?
Skull.
Skull. Or the other name is?
Cretus.
Cranium. Okay, then the spinal cord is covered with the
Backbone.
backbone. Correct, very good. So that's clear, right? The division, the major division is clear. Yes? Any doubts, anybody? Raina, do you have any doubt? No, okay, fine. Now, I told you about the basic division, that is the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. So the central nervous system comes in the central part. You can see in this picture, right? The central part, we have the brain and the spinal cord, and the rest of the nerves, all the nerves that this brain and spinal cord needs to have for conducting all the functions, all those nerves are peripheral nervous system. So I told you we can compare this with the government and see the central nervous system is the central government. It has the major hold, that is the brain and the spinal cord. The major commands come from this brain and spinal cord. But can they function without the rest of the ministers, the state and the other levels? Yes or no?
No.
No, they cannot carry the information directly to the other population, right? So they need some helpers for that, to carry information from them to the rest of the country, and to carry the information from rest of the country to the central government. They need some ministers and the other political parties and candidates and some other people, right? So that the set of ministers or the set of people who help the central government in carrying information to and fro in the country, they form the peripheral nervous system. Okay. So in central nervous system, we have the main people, two main people. Who are they, Elvina?
Brain and spinal cord.
Okay. So they have the major control. They give, they make the major decisions and orders. Okay. So they need to pass information from the brain or spinal cord to the rest of the body. Also, they need to carry information from the rest of the body to the brain or spinal cord. For that, they need the nerves. They are the means through which these messages are passed. Right, the information we studied yesterday about the neuron. We studied that the bundle of axons of the neuron forms the nerves. Yes? Okay, all the set of the nerves in our human body, part of the nervous system, they form the peripheral nervous system. Understood? Okay. Now, I told you we'll keep the central nervous system aside and we'll start with the peripheral nervous system now. Okay? So let's see this picture first. This is a picture from the textbook. So the first step you can see from the nervous system, it is branched into two. That is, we discussed right now, the central nervous system as well as the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system has the brain and the spinal cord. In the bracket of the brain, you can see hindbrain, midbrain and forebrain. We'll be learning about that. Don't worry about that, because we'll be learning about the separate functions, different lobes and structures in the brain. So leave it there. Then spinal cord also, we have ascending pathways, interneurons, descending pathways. That also we'll be learning when we study about the central nervous system. Since peripheral nervous system has so many divisions, we are going to study that first. Okay. Peripheral nervous system, the neural tissue outside brain and spinal cord. Neural tissue means the rest of the nerves that help the brain and spinal cord in relaying information, in passing on messages, in passing neural impulses. All those nerves or the neural tissue together is called or forms the peripheral nervous system. Now, can you see that it is branched into two, the peripheral nervous system? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Grishma, are you there? Can't see your video. Grishma, which are the two branches of peripheral nervous system?
Somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system.
Okay, somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. So, I'll just take the name and we'll see. Autonomic means, you know about automatic cars and bikes and all, right? So, connected with that, autonomic means all the involuntary functions or the automatic functions. They form the nerves that help with the involuntary or the automatic functions of the nervous system. Understood? For example, I'll give you two examples. That is, one is you want to attend a dance competition, and you want to practice for it. That is one example. Another one is you're eating your food and you want to digest it. Okay, which happens with your will and which happens without your will? Who will tell me? Who is going to tell me? Raina, can you tell me? One is dance practice, one is digestion.
Ma'am, question was not clear for me.
I'm not audible? Am I not audible?
It's like, now it is okay.
Okay,
La-
again. Two examples. One situation, you have to do your dance practice. Okay, and the other example, you have to digest your food. Which happens according to your will and which happens without, that is, which happens automatically.
Which happens automatically is digestion.
Digestion, okay.
Will is like dancing.
Dancing, okay. So for dancing, you can decide whether to do it or not, right?
Yes, ma'am.
For digestion, you don't do that. It happens automatically.
Automatically.
Similarly, the breathing process, the heart, the beating of the heart, all those things happen in an automatic fashion, right? So all those functions, the nerves that carry information for all those automatic functions are formed in the collection of the autonomic nervous system. Understood? The automatic processes or the involuntary processes. Involuntary means something that is not voluntary. What does voluntary mean then? Voluntary means something that happens with our own will. We learned the word voluntary when we learned about the experimental method, right? We don't force the participants to come for the interview or for the experiment. We ask their voluntary participation. Means they come with their own will. Right? We don't force them. We learned that in ethics also. So all the voluntary functions are dealt with by the somatic nervous system, and autonomic nervous system deals with the automatic processes, that is involuntary processes. Understood? Okay. Now, what did I do? Okay. Yes. So the somatic nervous system and the autonomic system are the divisions of which nervous system, Ashish? Yes?
Question once more.
Yes, somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. We just learned about it now. They are the divisions of which nervous system? Central or the peripheral?
Peripheral nerve system.
Nervous system. Okay. So again, coming back to our nervous system, there is a nervous system at the top. We have two main divisions, that is the central nervous system as well as the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system has only two organs which is contained in the skeletal parts, that is inside the cranium we have the brain, inside the backbone we have the spinal cord. Now coming back to the peripheral nervous system, we have all the nerves which helps the brain and spinal cord in carrying information to and fro from the central nervous system. And we have two main divisions for it, that is the somatic nervous system as well as the autonomic nervous system. Is the division clear for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, everybody give me a thumbs up if you're done, if you have understood. Yes? Yes, yes. Amal, I can't see you. Yes, okay. Grishma. Grishma and Raina also. Your videos are off. Turn it on. Are they having a net issue or what? Okay, let's continue. Yes. So we'll start with the just the introduction. That is, we can divide the nervous system into many parts depending on its location or functions. Based on location, the nervous system can be divided into two parts. That is, we already discussed central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The part of the nervous system found inside the hard bony cases, that is the cranium and backbone, is classified as CNS or the central nervous system. Brain and spinal cord are the organs of this system. So Ashish, what is the other name for the skull?
Cranium.
Cranium. Tell that 5 times.
Cranium.
Again.
Cranium.
Once more.
Cranium.
Once more.
Cranium.
Once more.
Cranium.
Will you forget it again?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Tomorrow we'll ask the same question to Ashish, okay? Remind me, Elvina. Okay, fine. Now, the part of the nervous system, did we move too much? Yes. The part of the nervous system other than the central nervous system are placed in the PNS or the peripheral nervous system. PNS can be further classified into somatic and autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system is concerned with voluntary actions, while the autonomic nervous system performs functions on which we have no voluntary control. So don't confuse it with the others. From the peripheral nervous system, understand that we have two divisions, that is somatic and autonomic. And autonomic, you can relate it with the word automatic, right? Always it is easy to relate it like that. So autonomic nervous system will always deal with the automatic processes, that is involuntary, like digestion, like the heartbeat, like breathing process, the respiration and all. All those functions are controlled by the autonomic nervous system. So what is the rest, whatever actions or behaviors or whatever functions are there for the human body, all those functions are dealt with by the other one. That is the, who is remaining? Who is remaining after the autonomic nervous system?
Somatic.
Somatic nervous system. So the rest of the functions will be dealt with by the somatic nervous system. Clear that much? Yes? Shall we move on? Yes, okay. Now, in general, what does the peripheral nervous system do? So we are starting with the peripheral nervous system as such. Okay, now we just learned about the basic divisions and we just introduced the topic. Now we are going to learn both the nervous system in depth. So we are starting with the PNS. We'll learn CNS after all these divisions. Okay. Now what does the peripheral nervous system? One function is it connects the central nervous system to the organs, limbs and skin. Then it carries sensory and motor information to and fro from the central nervous system, of course. Then allows the brain and spinal cord to receive and send information to other areas of the body. Regulates involuntary body functions like heartbeat and breathing. We have discussed about all these points right now. The general thing is it helps in relaying information from the central nervous system to the rest of the body parts. It also helps in collecting information from the rest of the body parts to the central nervous system. Okay. So if brain or spinal cord wants a particular message to reach there, it will call the PNS. It will call the nerves from the PNS, and the nerves from the PNS would certainly go and pass the information straight away to the brain or the spinal cord. Understood? And if they want a particular information to be sent to the rest of the body, then what they do is they'll again call this nerves of the PNS and then ask them to carry this information to whichever place it is required in the body. Understood? That is the basic function of the peripheral nervous system. Now we'll see the divisions and rest of the functions. Yes, the PNS is composed of all the neurons and nerve fibers that connect the CNS to the rest of the body. The PNS is divided into somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is further divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic systems. Take down that in your lecture notes. The autonomic nervous system has two other divisions, which are sympathetic as well as parasympathetic systems. You just learned the names now. We'll discuss about the functions later, because if you learn that in between, you'll confuse it with everything. So just note the names. That is the ANS, the autonomic nervous system, has two other divisions, that is sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Yes, written, finished. Ashish, done? Yes, everybody. Sana, did you finish writing? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Then the next point, we already discussed that the PNS provides information to the CNS from sensory receptors and relays back motor commands from the brain to the muscles and glands. So we learned about the sensory and motor nerves, right? The sensory neurons are otherwise called what, Elvina? Afferent or efferent? We learned the code. Afferent. Okay. And the motor neurons are otherwise called? Aishwarya, do you know?
Efferent.
Efferent. Correct. So the sensory receptors, that is the sensory neurons or the sensory nerves, the PNS provides information to the CNS from the sensory receptors or the sensory neurons. Then it relays back information to the back motor commands from the brain to the muscles and glands. That's what happens. So sensory neurons or the sensory nerves and the motor nerves are involved here, and they also help in the to and fro relay of information. Yeah, okay, the PNS. Now, yes, see this picture. Here, the gray part you see, it is the central nervous system, and the colorful part that you see, the red and the blue part, forms the peripheral nervous system. And the red part, that is the somatic nervous system. The nerves of the somatic nervous system are colored in red here, and the autonomic nervous system nerves, they are colored in blue color. Understood? So I told you autonomic nervous system, they deal with the automatic functions, right? Basically, so automatic functions, they mainly happen in the internal parts of our body, like the digestion, where the lungs are, where the heart is, then the kidneys. All those functions happen in an automatic fashion, right? The digestion process, our heartbeat, then the breathing rate, in the lungs, all those processes happen in an automatic fashion. So the nerves that help in relaying information for those functions, they are probably inside the internal part of our body. That is why the autonomic nerves, they are colored in blue and are found in the inside part. Towards the sides, we have the nerves of the somatic nervous system. Okay, that is colored in the red. So have you got a general idea about the location of the nerves in both the nervous system of the peripheral nervous system? Yes? Is it clear? Any confusions till now? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Then we'll move on to the first division, that is the somatic nervous system. We'll just revise once more. The nervous system, two main parts, that is the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central one has the brain and spinal cord inside the skull or the cranium and the backbone respectively. And then coming to the peripheral nervous system, we have two divisions, the somatic as well as the what? What, Grishma? Somatic as well as the
Autonomic.
autonomic nervous system. And then we have two divisions for autonomic nervous system, which we didn't study in detail, but remember the names, sympathetic and parasympathetic. We are going to learn that probably in the next class. We'll start with the somatic nervous system. So this system consists of two types of nerves called cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So basically somatic nervous system, they deal with the voluntary functions. So if you want to run, if you want to take your favorite piece of cake from the table, if you want to go for a walk, if you want to go to the cinema theater, you all do all that actions with your own will, right? Those are voluntary actions. The jumping that you do, the screaming that you do, all those things are voluntary. That is, you do it with your own will. So these functions, these actions, these behaviors, all these things are mainly influenced or mainly dealt with by the somatic nervous system of your body, which is a division of the peripheral nervous system. Okay. And these somatic nerves are mainly of two types, that is cranial nerves as well as the spinal nerves. So in this picture, you saw the somatic nerves in red color, right? And it needs to relay information to both the parts or both the organs in the central nervous system. Then only the body can function properly, right? The brain as well as the spinal cord needs some set of nerves to go here and there to relay the information. So the somatic nervous system has two types of nerves, that is the cranial nerves, which deals or plays around the area of the brain, and the other one is the spinal nerves. Okay, so basically two divisions for somatic nervous system, that is two sets of nerves, that is the cranial nerves as well as the spinal nerves. Now let's see more information about the cranial nerves. There are 12 sets of cranial nerves. Note that in your lecture note. There are 12 sets of cranial nerves which either emanate from or originate from or reach different locations of the brain. There are three types of cranial nerves: sensory, motor and mixed. Okay. So the general division of the somatic nervous system, that is two pairs or the two sets of nerves are there. Which are they? The cranial as well as the, yes Ashish, cranial as well as the spinal nerves. Yes, and we are going to study now about the cranial nerves. There are 12 sets of cranial nerves and they are of sensory, motor and mixed, because we need to relay information to the brain as well as from the brain, right? So we need sensory and motor and mixed nerves for that, and we'll see what the functions of them are. The types of cranial nerves, that is sensory, motor and mixed. Sensory nerves collect sensory information from receptors of the head region and carry them to the brain. So if yesterday we saw an example about touching something hot or cold, right? So that is a sensation. Yes or no? Agree? Amal, do you agree with that? Yes. Okay. So when we get any sensation from our five senses, then that information is carried basically by what kind of nerves?
Sensory nerve.
Sensory nerves. Yes, we learned that already, right? So cranial nerves also has some amount of sensory nerves to carry information from rest of the parts of our body to the brain. Understood? And motor nerves do the just opposite reaction of what sensory nerves do. They carry information from where to where? Who can tell me?
Brain to sense organs.
Okay, sure. Any confusion, Aishwarya?
No.
Okay. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Any objection for that? Anybody? Okay. So, as I told, the motor nerve carry motor impulses originating from the brain to muscles of the head region. For example, movements of the eyeballs are controlled by motor cranial nerves. So, okay, we'll see mixed nerves and see the example. Mixed nerves have both sensory and motor fibers which conduct sensory and motor information to and fro from the brain. That is. So, again, taking our example of touching something hot. Imagine that you have already put your hands on something that is very hot. Okay. And which nerves would probably carry this information to the brain?
Sensory nerves.
sensory nerves. And what if your motor neurons or the motor nerves are not working? What will happen is the brain or our body will not realize, or they'll realize that you have touched something hot, but we'll not be able to pull our hands back if the motor neurons are not working. So they from the brain you have to get a message to the hand to pull it back, right? If the motor neurons are not working properly, then you can't pull your hand back and you'll end up with so many blisters in your hands. That will be the result if if your motor nerves are not working properly. Or just imagine if your sensory nerves have some complaints, then we won't realize that you just sense something hot. The sensations, they won't go to the brain, and probably if that message is already blocked, then probably you won't again pull your hand back because you can't realize that the thing is hot or cold. Understood the difference? Yes. Okay. So that is about cranial nerves. So again I'll revise once more. The nervous system, the CNS and PNS. CNS has brain and spinal cord, and the PNS has the what two things? Who will tell me? Sana, are you there? No? Amal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sana? I can't see you. Can you answer? The PNS has two divisions. Which are they? No. Elvina, can you tell?
Somatic and autonomic.
Autonomic nervous system, and autonomic has sympathetic and parasympathetic, and here we are dealing with somatic. It has cranial as well as spinal nerves. Cranial, there are 12 sets of nerves, and we have the sensory, motor and mixed, and then we are also dealing with the spinal nerves, which are 31 sets. I'll finish just now. Okay, 31 sets of spinal nerves. Note that in your lecture note. Coming out of or reaching to the spinal cord, each set has sensory and motor nerves. Spinal nerves have two main functions. We'll see what those functions are. So just like cranial nerves, there are both sensory and motor neurons or motor nerves for this particular section, that is spinal nerves also. Because the spinal cord also needs to receive information as well as give out information, right? That is why they also have the sensory as well as the motor nerves. Now there are two basic functions. Let's see what they are. The sensory fibers of the spinal nerves collect sensory information from all over the body except the head region. Who deals with the head region? Which nerves?
Cranial nerves.
Cranial nerves. Very good. And send them to the spinal cord from where they are and then carried out to the brain. In addition, motor impulses coming down from the brain are sent to the muscles by the motor fibers of the spinal nerves. Understood the difference? Just like the cranial nerves, just like the sensory and motor part of the cranial nerves, we also have a set of motor and sensory nerves for the spinal cord also. They are called the spinal nerves. They carry information to the spinal cord as well as from the spinal cord. Clear? Okay, that is all about today's portions. Now, any doubts for this? I've repeated it so many times. Any doubts? Anybody? Okay, shall we wind up then? Okay then, happy weekend.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.